And then this last one, select one of ... is they're thinking that that would be up to local determination, so the psychology faculty, either here in the district or even it could drill down to the college level, could decide. But again, I go back to if the intent of this degree was to provide a clear, common pathway to transfer for students, and we know students attend multiple California community colleges, I'm not sure how clear this is going to be for our students when they come to Pierce and follow the associate degree for transfer in psychology, and then they're taking courses at Santa Monica towards the same degree, and then they're at Mission, and all our degrees look different. It's not clear to the student. It certainly is not clear to first-generation students at all. It's not going to be clear to students who never get in to see a counselor. Students are going to think they have to have this degree to transfer, which they don't. Students are going to think, I completed that degree for transfer to CSU in psychology, and then I didn't get in my major. And we're going to have to say, right, because it wasn't a guarantee to the major. Anyway, lots of pitfalls, scary ones for our students. Okay, next one. Thank you for doing this, by the way. Keep going. We'll get them all up here. A few more, I think. One more, maybe. Okay, we better stop there. So what the ASCCC is encouraging us to do is, like I said, go to the CID website and look and see what is happening in your discipline. And again, you can sign up for the listservs. You can provide input. This is all through the website, so it's pretty cool. So if in your discipline you logged on there and you saw something great or something wacky, you could say, this is David from Trade Tech. What does this mean in that descriptor? So, and you can provide ideas and feedback, so it's good. And volunteer to help with statewide CID and 1440 stuff. Okay, keep going. Okay, that might be it. A little more. Okay, and then progress. 11 intersegmental discipline groups met beginning of October. I think it went pretty well. I mean, part of my concern is it is by, the vast majority, I mean, we outnumber too, but is CCC faculty. I've been to 2 of them, and there were only CCC faculty. There were no CSU, no UC. It's yet to be seen if the UC will participate in CID, and I would not put a penny on it. I can't imagine they will be participating in this. And so far, at least our local privates, I've talked to USC and Loyola, and they're not interested. So we'll see. Next. What were they talking about here? I guess they're just reminding us what to think about with high unit majors. Deirdre and David, Lourdes, what do you think?
They were looking at things like engineering and things where there was a very, very specific sequence.
That's right, that's
from
right.
This to this to this, and you have to.
Right. So they were just reminding all of us on those to pay attention to kind of what the sequences are.
And also to not under prepare students, to not say, okay, we're going to limit,
Right.
So that was a big concern. I think they thought that some schools would say, we've got local control now, we're going to say that engineering doesn't need to take this, and they're going to try to transfer in, and a school's going to say, excuse me, why didn't you take this one?
Right. That's a great point. I actually hadn't even thought of that. Okay, next one. Oh, and, okay. Resounding thunder then.
Opening it up to Q&A?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Like I said, I could go on and on, so I'll stop there.
So let me throw out the first question.
Okay.
There is a difference of opinion between the State Academic Senate and the District Academic Senate on the issue of the 18 units.
Yeah.
Could you talk about that?
Yeah, and I think there's, a difference of opinion between, I think it's pretty split, actually, in the California community college system. So right now, Title V says that an associate degree has to have a minimum of 18 units in a major, right? And so our district academic senate wrote a letter to the ASCCC asking to re-examine that. Why 18 and why 18 for all associate's degrees? Like, why is there no distinction between associate degrees that might be vocationally oriented and associate degrees that are more academic, traditionally academically oriented? I mean, these are the way I think about them. I'm not saying they're defined that way. So Because the vast majority of baccalaureate degrees in the social behavioral sciences and arts and humanities do not require 18 units of lower division major prep. If those of us in this room with bachelor's degrees in those areas went and pulled our transcripts, we did not do 18 units of lower division major prep. Because in traditional academic disciplines, your major happens at the upper division level. You don't major in English at the associate degree level, you do your prep. You don't major in philosophy at the lower division level, you do your introductory coursework and maybe a few major courses. So there was a push when all this was happening, and I was embroiled in it, to try to change the Title V language, but our ASCCC leadership isn't supporting that. Why not define it differently? Why does it have to be a one-size-fit-all associate degree in regards to the number of major units that students have to complete? But the ASCCC, their position is that anything less than 18 units would undermine the integrity of an associate degree. So, and they haven't done a position paper on this. I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find any resolution on it, but that's what they've told me, you know. So I don't agree with it, and I hope there still continues to be discussion on this, but we'll see. But right now, it's the 18 units. But it's making it very difficult to design associate degrees, and now with SB 1440 we have to, that meet the needs of transfer students in those disciplines.
So, Elizabeth, as a follow-up question to that, would that be 18 units in an area of concentration, such as language, arts, humanities,
right.
social and behavioral sciences, or does it have to be 18 units of English, 18
right.
units of psychology?
Right.
Is it possible for, under SB 1440, for a local college to have a liberal arts degree under this new language?
It is possible, but, okay, so a couple things.
Yes.
One, like, we are getting a lot of pressure from our state academic senate to wait for the statewide models. They really want us to give those a shot. The CSU would also like us to define these degrees specific to the majors they offer. So they would rather we don't design these degrees to be these broad, either general studies or liberal arts, because they don't have baccalaureate degrees in those, right? So then what major would the student go into? What major would the student be prepared for? And that's a legit concern. I mean, you know, who knows? So, yeah, those are all good questions, but not clear on the answer.
I had a question. To my understanding, State Senator Padilla was one of the main
Yeah.
sponsors of this bill. And
Yeah.
his background, I believe, is as a community college counselor.
I don't think
do you
counselor.
know if anybody else is working with his office in regards to, because I mean, he's been having a counseling background.
I don't know that he was a community college counselor. Anyway, I actually met with him and his staff, who were all great, and I mean, and all well-intended with this stuff, but quite honestly, right, it was Jack Scott, our chancellor, and Charlie Reed, the CSU chancellor, and our academic senate, who were like calling the shots on all of this, right? And then they just had the legislators they needed to get this through. So that's who they were listening to, and so that's how it ended up this way. But I mean, again, they were all perfectly well intended, but yeah, it was just who the political power players were is how it all happened.